Hello, I'm Lena, the Laotian. Not lotion, Laotian. I didn't really grow up with my family doing pranks and stuff. The only memorable prank I did was my brother and I were at the store, like Walmart or Target, and he was walking in front of me. I had the shopping cart, and then I kind of like bumped the cart into him, but I hit his Achilles heel, and he got super mad. And then he slapped me in the face. You know what? Deserved. Oh, I miss my brother. But yeah, I think that is the only memorable prank. I'm pretty sure I've done more pranking than I can remember, but that's all that's coming to my mind. Today, we are going to be reading some stories about some pranks that didn't feel like pranks. Let's go. Girlfriend is in prank war with her best male friend. Is it leading up to an emotional affair? My girlfriend of 2 years has had this male friend for a while. His name is Declan. And I'm not his biggest fan, but I didn't want to impede on the friendship, especially if like they have been friends before you guys started dating. You don't really have a say in who she's friends with either, but that friendship is protected because they have the longevity. Is that the right word? No. I knew it wasn't the right word. If you guys know the word, please let me know down below. If you guys can read my mind, what am I thinking right now? Person who comments what I thought in that exact moment wins a prank. So she told me last week that Declan. Who names their child Declan? 1, not creative. 2, it's Declan. Who names their child Lena? So she told me last week that Declan pranked her by calling her up and pretending to be Jack Nicholson with one of those soundboards. So she wants to get him back. So as a joke, the next time we were over at his place, she used his landline to call a sex hotline that charged by the minute and then just left the phone there. Declan gets charged like $200 for it. Damn. Is that a prank if I have to pay $200? So Declan strikes back at her again. At this point, they're still just being goofy, and I don't really mind. He comes over to her place for a party she was throwing, then hides this creepy decapitated doll in her closet. She finds it, freaks out, but then starts laughing. Have you ever stopped and wondered if they are okay? If I saw a creepy decapitated doll in my closet, I would right then and there shit myself. Now she wants to prank Declan even harder, so she knows he's scared of clowns and literally makes this giant paper mache clown statue that's hollow on the inside. They are really, dedicated. She wants to put it in his house. Apparently his roommate will let her in or something, and hide in it all night and then pop out of it as soon as he notices it. Okay, yeah, like this is serious dedication. So I tell her this seems a little extreme, but she does it anyway. Fast forward to that night, I get a call from my girlfriend because Declan apparently punched her in the face as the way that his name is so distracting to me. I'm just like, what? How do I say it? Please, Declan. I want to know how to properly pronounce your name because I feel like Declan is not it. Declan. Oh, Declan. I get a call from my girlfriend because Declan apparently punched her in the face as soon as he saw her pop out of the clown thing. Totally as a knee-jerk reaction because he didn't know it was her. Her nose wound up getting broken. She had to go to the hospital. Well, you did warn her, like, it's a bit much. And if he's scared of clowns, what do you expect? A broken nose. Now she's fine, although she's still wearing a splint. But she wants to continue pranking Declan. At this point, should I put my foot down? She's actually getting injured, and it makes me wonder if she just likes being around him so much that she is using the pranks as an excuse. They could just be like prank junkies, the adrenaline of like pranking someone and seeing their reaction. But having your nose broken after playing a prank on your friend who is scared of clowns. It's fair of OP to question, like, is this more than pranking? I feel like it's not anything like that, though. I feel like they genuinely just are prank junkies. Let's see what the comments say. Well, your girlfriend is an adult, so no, don't put your foot down, but you can say, hey, you got hurt. Maybe it's time to call a truce. It does kind of sound flirty to me. Did she pay him for the sex line calls? Because she totally should have. No, he told her it was fun and hilarious, and he didn't ask her to pay him back. He also paid for the hospital bills after he punched her in the face. I don't care how close you are. You cost me $200. You're paying me back for that. No one gets a pass. Not my little brother, not my BFF, not my mom, not my sweet grandma. Well, maybe my sweet grandma. I was about to say. I agree with that actually because like it's a prank. And if you guys are friends, then I feel like in a friendship you would be like, dude, give me the $200. You're paying for this. But he's taking the extra steps in being courteous and like saying like, oh, like I'll pay for it. I want this to keep going. She says he's like her brother. They've only been friends for 5 months. 5 months. They want to That is a lot of dedication, time, and effort between the money, the life-size paper mache clown made big enough for her to fit in it so that she can wait in it. You know what? I changed my mind. They want to tell her their friendship comes off as a bit flirty at times, and you feel a bit threatened by their closeness. No, I wouldn't even say all that. Okay, I wouldn't break up just yet, but what would I say? Hey, let's break up. Next. I am seriously contemplating divorcing my husband over a prank. I'm sorry it's a long vent, but I honestly feel so much rage. My husband and I are both 32 years old with a 6-week-old baby. We have been together 7 years. Pranking each other has been something we do, especially early in our relationship, as a bit of fun. He has been known to take them too far at times, and I don't know what to think. Since I've been home with baby, he has continued playing pranks, and my tolerance is very low between sleepless nights and all the hormones. I find myself absolutely raging at him for these pranks, and he tells me I'm being too serious. I'm no fun, and I'm a quote chronic overreactor, whatever that be. Dude, why don't you birth a fucking, how big are babies? The size of a watermelon? Why don't you try pushing out a big ass watermelon out your pum-pum? Never mind all the after hormones that come with it and all of the work and the tender breasts that come with it. Never mind all that. Why don't you just try pushing out a big watermelon? Just start with that. You wouldn't be able to handle it. And you wouldn't be able to handle an annoying husband who thinks his pranks are so funny when he should be, I don't know, taking care of his baby rather than pranking, like helping out. Hello? 3 pranks in particular have angered me to the point of tears, raging out, and now I am contemplating divorce. Prank 1 was making coffees for a guest with my breast milk. I'm having trouble pumping, so I don't have much stored away. I was so angry and embarrassed. Oh, that was prank 1, guys. We're not even, oh my God, I would be mortified. Prank 2 was pretending to have cut his fingers off in the garden. He dragged it on for ages too and put fake blood around. Not just a quick little joke. Especially like after giving birth, you are like so tired already and exhausted. And now your fucking dumb ass husband comes in and he's like, my fingers got, and you're just like, and then the break. Girl, I'm contemplating divorce with you. And lastly, prank 3. Do I want to read prank 3? Which happened today, and I feel is my final straw. Last night, I was hinting about breakfast in bed, so this morning he brings me in a coffee, toast, and some chocolates. What I assumed was peanut butter on my toast was in fact our baby's poop. Why are you contemplating divorce? You should have the papers ready to sign. And as I have severe sinus issues, I didn't realize and took a small bite. I spat it out straight away. He laughed hysterically, and I told him to get out. He later messaged me and said all his workmates thought it was hilarious, which is just embarrassing on top of it all. So he just keeps embarrassing you. Constantly does these stupid and really unsafe pranks. Why would anyone want to drink breast milk without their consent? Why would anyone want to eat baby's poop on toast? I have had a very brief chat to him. He came home, I was in the master bedroom with the baby, and told him to go away. So he sat in the lounge room, ordered himself KFC delivery, and gamed. I went down and flatly said, on what planet was what you did this morning appropriate? He straight out said, you should have seen the look on your face, and began hysterically laughing again. I kept my cool and said he wasn't welcome in the bedroom tonight. I'm going to go to my sister's first today. I don't know any further plans at this time. It has been a long 6 weeks, and anything, the next week I want to spend catching up on some sleep and being able to enjoy my baby. Be careful who you have children with. And you're forever tied to this person because you guys both made a baby. Be careful, because you just might end up eating baby poop on a toast and be laughed at 2 times. So I actually had a pretty okay sleep last night. Baby slept for 2 4-hour chunks. I don't know what that means. After having a bottle of formula overnight, which is the most I have slept in a long time. My husband is now giving me the silent treatment and acting annoyed at me, which I've come to realize it's what he does if things don't go his way. He will sulk about things until I give in. I've had a lot of time to read replies and really look back on a lot of things and realize that he uses pranks and jokes as a way to be horrible to people and gain attention. His parents think it's funny and that he's a hilarious goofball when in reality, he isn't. I look back and so many have been so awful and mean. Even in 2018, he gave a friend a marijuana gummy before a flight from San Francisco to Australia, and his friend had a panic attack in the bathroom on the plane, and he still laughs about it and thinks it is one of the greatest tricks. He has accidentally let my pet budgie out that I had prior to when we met, but now I look back at it, it was most certainly on purpose, as he doesn't like animals and always said birds were dirty animals. And we didn't see the signs. What I have really noticed looking back is not just the pranks, but he has zero care of someone who is worried or upset about a trick. It in fact eggs him in more and more, and he goes to great lengths to trick people into a state of upset, then will laugh and brag about it, which just leads me to think he has no empathy for another human being. Psycho. When I got back from the hospital, he had me convinced our new TV in the bedroom had been dropped and broken with a cracked fake screen, and I told him then, enough, I'm too tired for jokes, so it should have been enough for it to stop. The messing around with my sleep was the start of me losing my mind and raging out on him. Ultimately, I've lost trust in him. Even if he says no pranks again, I will not believe him, as he has said that before, then planned an elaborate month-long prank. Get this guy another hobby. Get this guy a therapist. I don't want him pranking my baby. He constantly tags me in pranks on Facebook involving kids, and he will 100% do it, as some I've said are not cool, and he says it's character building. He has no respect in reality, and even the stupid things he does, like leaving his own poop in the toilet for me to find, or waking the baby, or wetting the car seat before I hop in, are just blatant displays of disrespect. What about you eating the poop? I can't get over it. Okay, I can't get over baby poo-poo on a butter knife and spread it like it was Nutella and then served it to you and laughed in your face. Oh, God. Baby poo-poo. No. My sister is on her way to pick me up, and I'm going to have a week away and most likely get legal advice regarding separation. Ah! Good. Thank goodness. If she didn't divorce after the baby poo-poo, she deserves it. She deserves a baby poo-poo. That's crazy. I'm moving on now. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend to leave me the bleep alone? My girlfriend and I have been dating for 2 years a week prior to this post. She and I spend a lot of time together and know each other very well. I have had some relationship issues in the past, so I'm very forward and communicative. I feel like I sound like a robot. Sorry. Because of situations I've been in relationships in the past. I'm irrationally afraid of clowns. I have to emphasize the irrational part. My dad used to watch Scary Stories when I was a kid, and it was one of his favorites. This movie has had such an impact on my life that I've been to the hospital for panic attacks because of incidents with a clown in which my girlfriend was there for. We went to a haunted house, and long story short, I was very affected by the clown portion. Ultimately, I say this to say she knows of my fear and the effect it has on me. We had a pretty big argument over her not working the past month. She brought up a feeling of stagnation and depression, and I attributed it to her unemployment, as in my experience while working sucks. Being productive is a very big driver in motivation and overall mental health. I'm a very blunt and forward person and struggle a bit with empathy, so looking back on it, I was a bit rude. She took this as me saying she was lazy and nonchalant about her career. Ultimately, I'm not concerned about that. While I do want her to be successful, I more want her to be happy. I assume she felt attacked, and instead of communicating this to me and us working it out, she internalized it and has taken to retaliation. After a long night of socializing with our friends, we went back to my apartment. She turned on a movie, and we sat together watching it for a while. I drifted asleep and was soon awoken by her in a full clown Halloween costume. This was one of the most terrifying and frightening experiences I may have ever had. That is a breakup. Yeah. Especially if she's seen you literally have panic attacks that have sent you to the hospital, that is a breakup. And like, how can you face her after that when she is the reason for being the most terrifying and frightening experience you've had? Falling asleep with someone I'm completely vulnerable and have a lot of trust for, to be woken up by my true worst fear sent me to a full-fledged panic attack. I couldn't breathe in my own home nonetheless, and was paralyzed by fear. She not only targeted my weakness, but continued tormenting me while I hyperventilated, and I was soon in tears, curled up on the floor, struggling to breathe. After what felt like years, truthfully 5 minutes. 5 minutes is still too damn long. If someone woke me up in my own house, with a tarantula in the palm of, I can't even put my hand out. I'm freaked out already. If someone came up to me, woke me up with the tarantula in the palm of their hand. No. For 5 minutes? I can't even handle a minute. I can't even handle a second. Maybe I can do a second. I think I can do a second. That's my limit. I can't even imagine 5 minutes of watching my partner hyperventilating, curled up in a ball, crying because of me. I can't. She must have been checked out of the relationship. She didn't care about you, clearly. She took off the costume trying to comfort me and bringing me an inhaler, but started saying that was how I made her feel after speaking about her not having a job. That is an awful justification. It could have very easily been a talk, been a proper communication between two grown adults. She definitely checked out ever since that talk. I really love her. We felt like such a perfect match, but to attack me so personally and without communication of the underlying issue prior, I have truly lost all trust for her. I told her to leave me the f alone and get out of my house. Obviously this went over poorly, but I've never felt so betrayed by someone I loved before. She hasn't spoken to me for the 2 weeks since, despite my efforts, and I'm truly exhausted and trying. Am I that asshole? Do I deserve this, or should I move on? She's the asshole, not you. She really could have talked about it with you. Oops, I spit. I understand that she mentioned that she was depressed and feeling stagnant, but like, it's not cool to use somebody's fear as a weapon just because you got your feelings hurt and you wanted to show them how it hurt you, so you hurt them. That's not a good standard to put on your relationship. You are hurting your person with intent. She's awful. Quick update. This was definitely premeditated. I spoke with one of her friends who dates a good buddy of mine, and she spilled a lot of tea on the situation. Of course, underlying issues I contributed to led to this, but it was intended as a prank. I did have the chance to speak with her, but it certainly didn't end up the way I envisioned it. She planned this out, bought a cheap costume, and intended to prank me as, and I quote, a lesson. Her lesson brought up a lot of childhood trauma for me, and I don't have much of a support system for those things. I broke up with her once I heard her side, and she was very frustrated. She cursed at me and swore no one would love a shitty person. The irony of the situation only, but made me laugh, and I realized maybe she could find a job in her newly found free time. In the past few days, I've decided to seek counseling and therapy for a lot of the trust issues, and ultimately, I hope to work on my fear. Thank you for all your responses. Good on you for breaking up with that piece of. And that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!